This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to AKAM. Thank you for joining us for our KAM in the Coronacrisis webinar. If you have any questions, please type them in the chat box that should be located on the right of your screen. There will be a question and comments section at the end. Please also make sure you put yourself on mute. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. As already we noticed that everyone should be muted, so most probably I have the right to start talking. My name is Dominikas Cibulskas. You can see it on the screen. And again, looking at the first slide or at the name of the webinar, what we will be talking today about. We will be talking about two most used words or two things which are happening today about Corona and about crisis. What we will share our approach on that as a person and as a AKAM from key account management point of view. As well, me and Nicola will share some practical examples from what we face. We are from very different areas. Nicola is coming from production. I'm coming from pharmaceuticals. So you will have two different views on the current situation and how it should be handled. So myself, I'm Dominikas Cibulskas. I'm from Lithuania. In key account management and sales, I'm for last 20 years went through different positions and through different business areas. So hope that my experience could be of value to you as well. And hi, Nicola. Would you present yourself?
Good morning, everybody. Yes, my name is Nicola Boni, and I'm working in Bonfiglioli as a key account program manager after years of experience in international sales, and also I spent some years in French as a country manager of the local branch offices.
Okay, so now we are moving to the topic. First of all, it's an approach. We all understand that everything has started not from some economical cataclysm, but this is a health crisis. We are, everyone, sitting at home on our sofas, couches, and wherever it is, we are saving lives. And again, this is not exaggerated. When we are talking about pandemics, when we are talking about viruses, this is rather important, the behavior of every single person which we do. So it's very important that you understand it, and it's very important that you address it. The other thing, which actually is already a consequence of the fight against the virus, is economic crisis. All this shutdown all around the world, and specific demand for specific goods, and actually no demand for the other goods brings us to a very interesting situation, and it asks us to act a little bit different than it's usually. Will it be a new reality? Nobody knows. Currently it is a reality and we can't deny it. We need to adopt to it. So talking about the human part, first of all, we always put a human life as a priority number one. So please, you've heard that million of times, but follow what your government says. There are a lot of professional people, doctors, who work on that in order to achieve the result. Reduce your live contacts if it's possible with your employees, colleagues, customers down to zero. It's really possible. However, it's not usual for everyone to do your daily tasks in a different ways. If it's possible, you can switch to any remote communication tools like a personal computer, mobile, social networks. You can write your handwritten letters if you want, and if it helps. So anything you can't do remotely most probably can wait a month or two, and then can be done as well. If you go the next step, you understand that yeah, please change the slide. So you understand that working from home or from wherever you are sitting is not the same as it used to be 2-3 months ago. Yeah, so some people face psychological issues. There is a certain level of worry, certain level of uncertainty. So this should be addressed, and a good thing for how to solve it is to build your daily routine again. Meaning, like, excuse me, could you please mute? Yeah. So if you do your daily routine. So it means that you wake up as you go to work, you dress up, you don't spend the whole day in your pajama. You try to structure your private time and working time. And you kind of very clearly say that, okay, this is my working time until 6, for example, and afterwards I spend it for my personal time. A lot of people overwork. They don't find this edge when we have to stop, which is not helping. We are getting tired, and nervous colleagues, overburns are very often in these days as well. The other thing is, with all these webinars, video chats, we are entering in private area of our colleagues, of our customers. In many cases, we should be respectful and act respectfully towards them as well. Some people miss authority, not being in the office, not meeting with people. You should understand that nothing changed in that respect. You are managing your position as you would do that live as well. And you have to stick to your duties and responsibilities. and you still have your authority as you used to have, meaning that it doesn't mean that if anyone is working from home, he is kind of allowed to watch TV instead of managing the processes he used to manage before. So what do we do, or what do we need to change now? Question if it stays in the future or not, if it will be our new normal or not. Please change the slide.
So let's move now to some to the business part. So the way we could change our behavior in managing our business with customers, especially with key accounts. We just want to show you or talk to you about some practical example. There are some behavior or some action that we have taken, try to adapt to the new scenario that we are facing. One example, with some customers, we define a meeting schedule every second day, for example. So the situation, especially at the beginning when the crisis started, was changing basically every day. So clearly also solutions and problem change daily. So having this meeting give us and to customer the opportunity to inform them about our production updates, discuss the order portfolio or the different priorities, and something that is becoming more important, give them information about the business continuity. Another things that happened during the crisis, and all of us has clearly seen that, is the social media is becoming more and more important. Senior management usually use these tools to communicate internally and to the clients, the customers. It's very important as a key account manager to use this official information channel to discuss with key accounts and also to be very close to them, because this type of communication can also lead to misunderstanding or panic. So, and also we can use this communication with key accounts to give a feedback to the senior management. Another practical example that we, an initiative that we establish in our company is to define an emergency virtual room. It's very important that the quality and the type of information that our key account managers are able to share with customers are consistent. So what happens is that every second day, the branch and
Okay, Nicola, seems we lost you. Yeah, so just building on that, actually there is an emergency room in, and then people can share certified and uniform information with customer and with producer. Yeah, talking about the global companies, you can work two ways. Actually, here the example was that if suddenly the problem happens in China, so it's possible to move your production or purchasing routes into European sites, which works vice versa, then the problem moves into Europe. So you being as a key account manager, you have to evaluate any possible ways of solving your supply chain issues and your production issues, meaning you always have a backup scenario. And again, cost here, yes, it's growing a lot because it's not a usual way of working. However, because here is not so important. This is a secondary importance. Much more important to keep your business alive, to keep continuity and sustainability, and most probably you will gain some new ways of operation which might be you a big benefit after crisis period.
I'm back, Dominique.
Great.
This is also something that happens. So we have problems with net connection. So yeah, as you said, and let's again another example. We as a company work in many different sectors, from pharma to food and other industrials. As maybe some of you knows, in Italy, the company cannot produce for everybody, but there are some authorization to deliver and to produce stuff for specific sector. So clearly, what we need to have is define which sector are strategic and for which sector can we produce. And we need also to cooperate with our customers to get from them a sort of official letter and that allow us to produce for them. And this also will give us the opportunity to define priorities. It's extremely important during these times to communicate to customers, to be as much as transparent with them and to really discuss with them which solution, which option do we have to continue to guarantee the business continuity. Then other point, clearly during the crisis, one of the main questions or the main topics that everybody of us is discussing is finance. Clearly now cash flow is king. We need to assure the life of our companies in the future. And in some cases, we need also to take care of our suppliers. Many of our suppliers are critical, so meaning that we need somehow to protect them and then guarantee them to avoid any financial issues. So we confirm all the payments. But the same things, it also for our key account. So we are critical and strategic for them. So again, we can put ourselves in the other parts and communicate to them and ask them to not consider payment delay or postponement. Their reaction, the feedback we got from key accounts is really amazing, because 99% of customers accept and understand, and then it starts to become a virtual circle. It works very in an excellent way. So important now is for everybody to focus on business continuity. I repeat this word because it's really becoming more and more important.
So if you just try to summarize very short examples, and again, this is not, so to say, to go very deep and thorough in every business case, but if you want just to make a general conclusion about the economical part. So one thing is that a key account manager who is in charge of a majority of the business is actually in the front line addressing all the issues which are appearing in any crisis period, meaning this is not applicable only today, but in any kind of crisis, you most probably already now have an action list what you should do. And what we see and what it should be a list, first of all, we are talking about communication. It's changed, it's different than from the usual one, but you have a duty to communicate even more, especially trying to clarify what is the status of your customer, What kind of problems do they face? Can you help in this problem? What kind of issues it might bring to you and your business? What kind of alternative ways do you have to address if it happens? So this kind of asks key account managers to think a little bit wider, to stand a step back and see a big picture. As Nicola said, another thing is supply chain management. Again, what the issue is now, all the borders are closed. And again, for some industries, like in pharma, it's good because we have a green light priority, let's say, row on every border cross. At the same time, if we look at the other industries, I would say this is not so good. So supply chains are breaking. We have to have the alternative for supply. If it's not possible, then we're already solving different questions. The third thing is that it's not only about us. We have to make sure that all our customers, partners, consumers keep their business as well, because for the future, for the recovery, it will be the key critical factor. And sometimes, most probably, it's worth to sacrifice some euros, some conditions in order to keep them alive, and afterwards, let's say, gain back this amount instead of now cutting them and, let's say, doing one-sided decisions. This goes into all functions. As you can see, it's not about key account management only. It goes into finance, it goes into HR, it goes into IT, it goes into supply chain, and so on. That's why we are facing completely, on one hand, completely the same model as we work daily, or as we should work daily. At the other hand, this feeling of urgency is not only at key account management, but this goes to everyone. So this is kind of the summary, and yeah, congratulations to every one of you if you are here, meaning the business is running and you are coping with your daily challenges. It's great, and this is about the way we adopt and about the way we survive. Now I think is a time for questions. I don't see any written questions, but you can jump in and ask any questions from what was said or from what is not said.
I can see the questions here for you.
Yeah.
So we have one question here. How has handling key customers changed as the crisis has continued?
Come again, please.
How has handling key customers changed as the crisis has continued?
If you want, I can reply from our sides. Let's say this crisis, it's also, as always, a kind of opportunities. The reaction of key accounts to a transparent communication has changed the way. It improved again the fact that we are not in a relationship type as a customer and supplier, but is really a partnership. So we are more becoming partners with our key account. This is always, as a key account, is one of the main tasks and the main objective that we have. This type of approach has been reinforced. It's again crucial to communicate. They have suffering the same type of problem that we have, and so they better understand. And this is the way I see, and we see a change of this crisis. And the idea is that this will not end now. It is now a new way, and we think that we will continue in the same way because we will need time to recover completely from this situation.
Yeah, I can add from my side. I think managing key accounts is a process. This is not so kind of predefined thing. So we have to watch how the situation is changing. And yes, we have to adopt every single time. As Nicola says, and sometimes it is a good chance to improve what you have already. Some case it's a good chance to re-evaluate who are your key accounts, who are not your key accounts, and what is the importance of the business here. So you can take different angles. In my case, I would say that some key accounts, they acted in an appropriate way. They simply cut payments, they cut consumers, meaning they are closing the sales channels and so on. Nevertheless, we are not asked to do. In pharma, it's kind of, we have pretty open one. On the other hand, there are customers who are finding ways how to operate in the restricted conditions, and actually the creativity hit the ceiling. So very much proposed to look creatively in the situation, watch what is happening, and please look for the ways which let you adopt in the best possible way. Any other questions?
I see another question. You go, Heidi.
Sorry, no, you go ahead if you can see them.
Yeah, now I can see them. There are one question is post COVID-19, how will the way we met with our client? Let's say most hopefully, and we everybody hope that, and I'm quite convinced we will meet again our customer. But I think we should be ready, and we should start to think about the way to be efficient in meeting customer, even if not face to face. It's very difficult because you lost all the non-verbal communication. So the risk is really that the meeting is 10 minutes talking about the virus or the COVID, and then just very cold communication. So this is something we need to try to avoid. One suggestion that I can make, I don't know if anybody has the same experience, try to really prepare the meeting and have even more a predefined agenda, so that you are sure that you have the attention of the customers or the people we are talking to, and that you are very efficient in communication. And then again, there is another comment. Empathy is even now more important, because it's more difficult to have empathy in a not face-to-face meeting.
At the same time, we should understand this is not the end of the world. Yeah, so actually we've had a lot of epidemias and pandemias even in the recent 100 years, and the world recovered every single time, and I'm sure that the world recover this time again, and vaccines will be developed, and meaning we will get another routine. And yes, definitely we will meet in face-to-face. However, some lessons may be taken from this exercise, that especially for key account managers, the preparation for the meeting plays a big role. Sometimes we compensate this preparation with a live meeting, meaning doing pre-talks. However, here you can say that you can meet, but maybe not so frequent, maybe less frequently meeting. You have to achieve the more efficiency during the meeting. So the preparation and conclusions after the meeting start to play even bigger role. So this is a good area for development in the future. Any other questions?
Yeah, there's another one here. It says, do you believe that globalization will reduce after the pandemic?
I think that the world stays the same. It's one globe. and it's very much up to you how you organize the business. So meaning if you're a small country or regional business, so globalization didn't benefit to you much, most probably, except that you are meeting the customers, which are global, huge, and have a huge bargaining power. In this way, I think these entities, they will try to maintain the power towards suppliers or towards the partners. So in this respect, globalization most probably will not reduce. On the other hand, the world is changed, meaning all the planes are landed now. So yes, you have to act differently compared to the global approach which used to be half a year ago. Did I answer the question?
I think so. I just see one more here. It says, how will we start business again after the coronavirus?
Yeah, but business is already business never stopped in this way. Business never stopped, it's running, and there is no need to restart. There is a need to adopt. And coronavirus will not disappear. It was here a long time before, maybe not COVID, but the coronavirus as such. And it will be there for many years upfront, like flu virus, like many other viruses, which we even don't know names. Simply this mutation gave an effect which global population never seen before. That's it. So yes, we need to continue and we need to adopt. We will not restart anything, most probably.
Okay, and I just have another one. Did your company have a crisis management and communication plan before this happened? If so, was it appropriate and did it work?
Nicola?
Yeah. Yes, we have a crisis management plan, but honestly, I think that this kind of virus or this kind of crisis was not really considered at this level, at least. But we had really to react very quickly, and we implement plan in few days. Clearly, again, we need to be very flexible. So the plan and the way we react change, and we correct while we are having a plan. We correct the plan to adapting to the scenario that, especially at the beginning, it was really changing every day. And this is probably because I see another question. It's what is the most difficult things during the crisis? The fact that nobody, I mean, not only the company, not only the business, but also the politic or the world as a whole was not ready to this kind of situation. So it was new, and there is every day something new happen, and so this was probably the most difficult thing. So to be flexible enough to react, to be very quick and very efficient in the type of reaction, type of initiative that we take, and we say it often, fail quickly. That means, okay, you do something, you act, and then you think that okay, this is not good, then you change. Then, but you have to do something immediately. You cannot just take too long time to make a reaction, to put in place some solutions.
Okay, I will say from the general manager's position, it's impossible to have a ready crisis plan for every crisis because each of them is different. But what we as a managers can do, but this goes not only for general management, for key account management as well. We should be building business in this way that we are able to react in changes very fast. So it means that you might face only your business related crisis. This is not like a global one. You can relate some country level crisis, region country crisis, and so on. So the way you build the company, the way you're doing sustainable business or foreseeing it, is actually the way you respond to the crisis. So yes, there should be a certain plan in communication. There should be a certain plan in finance. And in finance, we were doing a so-called buffer pillows already for several years, because there is a certain economical fluctuation. So you know that one day crisis will come anyway, one or another type. So yes, we had a financial pillow. Yes, we had a very clear understanding that in the crisis there is a different, let's say, level of urgency and different type of decisions taken by your customers as well. We learned it in 2008, 2009. So the key account managers, we are trained already that, guys, if you see this kind of reaction, there is a certain level of priorities you do. And the first priority is always human life. The second priority is business sustainability, and then the rest could be managed upon the need. So if this answers this from a different angle.
Okay, another question here. Did you find a big variation in the people you had to deal with in their taking the crisis seriously?
Interesting question. I would say that most of the people who are in leading positions, they always take the things serious. Because if you don't do that, you are simply out of the game. So if they don't take seriously, let's say, pandemic situation, then they at least serious about economical situation. Most of them, I would say, they are very much careful about both situations. So yes, awareness is here, the understanding and empathy is here. So I didn't meet anyone, or didn't face anyone who would say, you know, this is a nonsense and nothing is going on. But again, that might be different for each.
Just try to having a different point of view. I mean, clearly here in Italy, we have been very much impacted. There is also, I mean, it's not easy, but we need also to understand people that are, let's say, suffering, or they are in problem, or they have maybe some relatives that has been infected, etc. So the way that everybody react is not the same. Then again, I think it's very important to again, empathy and be capable to understand, not only for customer, but this is also for our colleagues and for our team. So it's important to understand what the way they are facing, the way they are living this kind of scenario.
Okay, and we have another one here. As you implemented the type of measures you described, where did you have to support your KA managers in terms of skills and behaviors?
Yeah, so again, I'm coming from Lithuania, and here in Baltic states, most of the pharma and FMCG businesses are built on key account structure. So most of the competences and skills are already kind of in place. The guys are pretty experienced, spending quite a long period working in this position. So this is kind of not so much needed to instruct them specifically on this situation. However, as a general manager, you are always a role model for your team, and your actions are very important. So we were together, meeting our customers, addressing our customers, talking to them, and again, some decisions was not in competence of the key account managers, so I had to do them. But we kind of cooperated here very much, which gave us a rather good result. Meaning, again, for pharma, it's maybe not so painful situation. However, for some of the pharma players, it's not an easy time as well. So I would say that yes, you need to support them as a person. We need to support them with decisions, not so much with skills, most probably, or competences.
Okay, looks like that's all the questions we have for now.
Shall we give like 5 minutes or a couple of minutes for the people who still hesitate to give one? Okay, so there is one more slide. I will go through it, and you still have a time if you want to post some questions. I would be much more happy to have live discussion actually, but hopefully we will have a chance to meet in key account association meeting sometime in the future. So now for the next coming regarding next coming events, we have several webinars coming. One is on 15th of May about the value of trust in key account management. I will tackle this topic. Rather interesting one for myself even. I have studied a little bit to prepare for that one, and again putting practical insights and some theoretical approach on that. It's really interesting. This is a lot about soft skills, and actually relating to the last question, what kind of skills you need as a key account manager. Yes, you need a lot of soft skills. You need empathy. You need to understand what people talk. Then there will be on June 5th a webinar which will be led by Richard on value-based pricing. In July 3rd, strategic account plans, which is always a very important topic. And on the 4th of September, we are planning to have a leading in virtual workspace by Dr. Colin Hux. So the good thing is here, we as a Key Account Management Association as well are adapting ourselves to the existing reality. So we are proposing a new format of the membership, which is digital membership, and it's rather not expensive, giving you a possibility to attend all those webinars as well as access data which is available in our web page. And the web page is down on screen. It's worth actually to make a print screen for those who are attempting to attend those webinars. As well, we are inviting everyone who finds it interesting to discuss on key account management topics and share your experiences, answer the questions, talk with people all around the world about the key account management realities. You are always welcome to join us, and let's have a nice conversation someday live at the cup of beer. Any other questions, Heidi?
I don't have any right now, no.
So I think then we are done, most probably.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Nice
Meet
weekend.
you on May 15th.